Hello, welcome to that Double D team. I'm D. This is another one of our top 10 video lists. This time we'll be doing our countdown for our top 10 Marvel characters. For anyone that knows me or seen a few of these videos before, I'm pretty sure you'll have a nice idea of what my number 1 will be. Anywho, let's get things cracking off, shall we? Start off from the bottom. I'll go with my number 10. Now this top 10 list was quite difficult because I had to involve my childhood comic book history, my teenage cartoon affiliation, and my adult film, Marvel TV, Netflix addiction, all rolled into one. So there's a variety of characters in this list, but you'll get a chunk and a feeling for where most of my influence came from. Number 10. We'll start off with the Merc with a Mouth, Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. Now as a kid, I'd heard of Deadpool, I was aware of him. For me, he was like, as you said, the Merc with a Mouth. He was a comic book character that swore, spoke to you, broke the third wall, like fourth wall. It was amazing. However, until Ryan Reynolds re-encapsulated the role with his films most recently, Deadpool 1, amazing comic book film and rom-com as well. Yeah, don't sleep on it. His story with his missus, very heartfelt. Number 2, I need a second watch because I liked it, but didn't agree with all the hype that people were getting along with it. I think they were just Ryan Reynolds fanboys, to be honest. However, Deadpool, great character, absolutely love him. The fact that he can break the fourth wall and talks to you and gives you like Easter eggs or inside notes, as a fan, it's just an added dimension and ability to a character that I like. So Deadpool, number 10. Number 9, Venom. Recently just come out with the film with Tom Hardy, which was pretty decent. I'm not going to say it was amazing because the storyline was quite sloppy. However, the performance from Hardy and his relationship with Venom was the star of the show. So I'm really looking forward to that sequel. So anyone who's not seen the film, turn away now because the end credit scene showed Carnage, Woody Harrelson in prison. So Venom 2 should be very good. Maximum Carnage storyline, hopefully. In the comics though, and cartoons, Venom was one of the biggest characters and enemies for Spider-Man. And Spider-Man mid-90s, 2000s was everywhere. So Venom was quite all over the place as well. You get a lot of features from him in a lot of cartoon episodes and comic book threadlines. And Venom became, I'd say for me, even more popular once Carnage was introduced, because then he wasn't just the main villain, he was also an anti-hero. So he was someone that was bad, but someone you could like and support. And as a kid, it's like, oh, am I allowed to like the bad guy? Yes, especially someone as badass as Eddie Brock Venom. 8, we're going to go for the Punisher. Now, I will be honest, this is majorly being included because of Marvel Netflix and Jon Bernthal's performance in the Punisher season and Daredevil season 2. However, the Punisher also plays a few big key roles in the comic books, and like Deadpool, is one of the people in the MCU that other MCU characters do not want to fuck with. I don't know if you remember, is it the comic book version of Civil War, when Punisher's like, yeah, do you want some help? I'm like, nah, you're alright, mate. Yeah, I think you're a bit too crazy for us to trust you at the moment. You can just chill. But yeah, Jon Bernthal, Shane from Walking Dead, and many other things. But the Punisher for me is now his iconic role. Wow. We will be doing our video review shortly with my boy JD. Check out his YouTube channel. However, depending on when I've uploaded this video here, it may have already been uploaded on the YouTube channel. So have a little scour, check it out, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the usual stuff. 7. Wilson Fisk. the Kingpin. Now, I liked Kingpin anyway from comic books and the animated series, but Vincent fucking D'Onofrio, as with Bernthal, you've elevated this comic book character to new levels and heights that as a comic book fan, Marvel fan, TV fan, I did not think or expect I would get this type of quality or depth and character progression from an MCU villain. Because you know the trope, MCU villains usually just the mirror opposite of the hero, don't spend much time developing them because it's all about developing the hero to overcome the villain. Yeah. But Kingpin steals every scene he's in and steals the season in most of Daredevil. Daredevil season 3 has just dropped. I've just ploughed through it. Epic. Absolutely epic. However, JD is still, I think, 2 to 3 Marvel shows behind. So whilst we're doing our catch up, we'll have that soon-ish. So yeah, don't worry about that. The review will be coming, where we'll be delving into Kingpin and his many, many attributes further. But yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, my number 6. Now, he's also probably the only pure villain on my list, because obviously I've had Punisher and Venom and Deadpool can all kind of be classed as anti-heroes, but Kingpin's a villain and he's made my top 7. So it's just something about, and that's mainly just from Marvel Netflix shows and a bit of animated series with his history with SpiderMan. Because Spidey's definitely in this list, you can tell from the influence of my choices so far. But yeah, Kingpin's an absolute beast. Highly recommend checking out all of Daredevil seasons 1, 2 and 3, as that trilogy right now is just upper echelon. 6. Wolverine. Now, I'm not a massive Wolverine fan, but that's partially in part because I do like to go against the grain. So if someone's really popular, I tend not to be like, yeah, that's my guy. Because yeah, I like to be a little different. Plus, I don't like to be sheep and just follow who they want me to support and believe in. You know what I mean? Which is why I always identify with a lot of leaders, but also a lot of rogues. Yeah, I shall tell from my 1, 2, 3. But yeah, for number 6, Wolverine. And this is well, as a comic book fan, I had all the X-Men comics and the X-Men animated series. Wow, that and SpiderMan Saturday mornings, live and kicking, as I think we discussed in our TV shows prior top 10 lists, was amazing. Had a major influence on my comic book arcs. So X-Men, Spider-Man and Avengers were like the bulk of my influence in reading and watching when it comes to Marvel TV. So it's no surprise that Wolverine was in my list. And the films, yeah. The X-Men series, pretty decent. Logan, what a film. What a performance by Hugh Jackman as well. It's just sad that now he's going to be joining the MCU. The most iconic person to play Wolverine may not be able to come back to play him again to reprise the role because it's taken so long and Marvel have wanted. We will see. I'm pretty sure once it's all signed on the dotted line and the ink's dry, there'll be a video or 2 from many people around the internet, myself included, where we'll recast the X-Men or Logan. We shall see. For now, we're getting into the top 5. And at number 5, we have Matt Murdock, the devil of Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil. Now, Daredevil's awesome. I liked him a bit in the comics because that was my main influence from him. The film back in late 90s, early 2000s, Ben Affleck, yeah, wasn't the greatest, but I appreciated having it at the time because we had nothing. And then you go and cast Charlie Cox, who I'd already known about from Boardwalk Empire and was impressed, and you put him in this lead role of Marvel's Netflix series and he steals the fucking show. Well done, Charlie. I mean, season 1, D'Onofrio, because of the villain, steals the scenes, but you do great work in keeping the show consistent. And the one-shot hallway scenes, season 1 is still one of the best. It's the originator. Season 3, 11 minutes. 11. Go watch now. Amazing. Absolutely amazing in that prison fight scene. Wow. And I really love the show. I mean, I like Daredevil. I think it's got an affiliation to me as well because my religious Roman Catholic affiliation. So it's the hero with faith in it, struggling with his faith and what he wants to do. He sort of talks with the priest, Mother Maggie, Born from Sin. Yeah, Daredevil had to make my top 5. It's so relatable to me with the character, not with what he's gone through and that, but struggling against faith and responsibilities, wanting to do right, but also wanting to live the life, being a lawyer, coming across. It's so good. I can't recommend the show more than I already do. But as you can already tell from the Marvel hats and the Marvel t-shirts, the Marvel Netflix TV show reviews that we do, yeah, big geeks up in here. 4. Now this is one of them captain leader roles that I mentioned before. Not the captain, but and that is Scott Summers' Cyclops. Now, the comics, as I've mentioned with Wolverine before, and an animated TV show, was probably the biggest influence on me when I was young. I was an X-Men and SpiderMan guy. Very Marvel. Not too much DC, although I was aware of it. I was aware of Avengers, West Coast, Secret, but for me, X-Men. Or the X-Men, especially when it came to comics, and the TV show was great. Spider-Man TV show, wow, with the Spider-Verse and Madam Web and... But yeah, Cyclops, leader role, definitely for me, which is why he's ahead of Wolverine on the pick. Because a lot of people prefer Wolverine, but for me, Cyclops is the man. And he naturally never did anything wrong in a love triangle with Cheetah and Wolverine. If anything, Wolverine tried to steal Scott's woman, which isn't necessarily right, correct, or the way to do things to be done. But he's the rogue, innit? So I've got my captain, I've got my rogue. I like them both. Number 3, speaking of rogues, Remy LeBeau, Gambit. Now, people will be thinking, why is Gambit so high on your list? He's not even a main X-Men. He's never had any TV show or film. Something's in the works now with Channing Tatum, but it keeps getting delayed and delayed and delayed. But I love the character, the swag, the fact he's a thief, his little love triangle with Rogue and Wolverine, and his whole demeanour is awesome. I really do need him to be portrayed on screen. Now, I know Tyler Kitsch did it for a brief cameo in one of the X-Men Wolverine films, and we had high hopes that it'd continue, but nothing came of it, so the character was wasted. Oh, please don't do that with the Channing Tatum film. I don't want it to be a rom-com, like with Rogue and that. You don't have to throw him straight into the X-Men. Show him in the Thieves Guild, becoming his thief, and then having to move away before he gets introduced to the X-Men instead, like an end credit scene. Sony, Marvel, man just pitched you a movie. I'm sure most fans would be happy with it, so sign off. I'm happy with Channing though, because Channing's a big fan of Gambit. A lot of people are like, oh, Channing Tatum won't be able to do that role, no justice. I don't care, man. He's getting better as an actor. He's likeable, he's attractive, handsome, and he's got charm, which is what you need for Gambit. He's been practicing his like French New Orleans accent, so he's dedicated to being Gambit. So if he is, I'm fully behind him. Let's back him, let's get it going. My number 3, Remy LeBeau. I'm sure DIGA as well. I've not seen his list, but I know DIGA's a big Gambit fan. It'd be interesting to see how far he has him in his list, but I'm going to predict it will be top 5. Deuces is going to be your local neighbourhood Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Now, I'm going to go for, I believe it's the Amazing Spider-Man. Because you can have spectacular, you can have normal, but to me it doesn't make a difference, because Peter Parker in essence is just your high school teen going through a lot of responsibilities and pressures, family, being a hero, girlfriends, bully, and schoolwork, plus also doing your science tech, and he had everything going on. He was the most relatable, iconic hero there was in the MCU. And this is Peter Parker, not necessarily Spider-Man, which is why both of them make such a great team when forged together. And Spider-Man's back catalogue of villains, as I mentioned, Kingpin, Punisher's been in there, Daredevil's popped up, not as a villain but as a tie-in. He's had his run-ins with X-Men previously, Madame Web. Then you just go for the original Sinister Six, Kraven, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Vulture, Scorpio. You've got so many to go from for Spider-Man. The animated series is one of the best cartoon series ever. I know me and Joel kind of agree but disagree, because I'm pretty sure he thinks Batman. For me it's Spider, Batman, X-Men. But yeah, give Batman its credit, but Spider-Man animated series, as I mentioned, Saturday mornings live and kicking double bill. Yes, absolutely loved it. And Spidey was the man. Obviously him and Mary Jane. Then you had the whole Madame Web storyline with the chessboard and the futuristic, and you have to build a team to go up against them six, and his collaboration with the Fantastic Four. Yeah. Then you do the films, and the films are good. Tobey Maguire, though, a 30-odd-year-old playing a teen in school, making him goth in, I think, number 2. It took a while to get over. Or was that number 3? Sorry, because I think 2 is rated as one of the best ever, 3 is poor. Anywho, then, for me, you gave one of the best performances ever was Garfield. I loved Andrew Garfield as the Amazing Spider-Man. Hate on the films what you like. I thought 1 was amazing. 2 was decent. People focused just too much on Jamie Lee Foxx's Electro to slate the film. But and they also gave Emma Stone a lot more screen time because of how popular she was getting. But also, their chemistry on screen was fire. I know they were they were dating and in a relationship in real life, so you could tell that. But wow, them on screen with having Gwen and Peter. Because you have to get away from the Mary Jane trope, because we did that too much in the trilogy. So introducing Gwen Stacy with someone as Emma Stone and her chemistry with Andrew Garfield on screen playing Peter Parker was absolutely great, I thought. I really liked it, and his vulnerability as Peter Parker I really appreciated. And I know he was late 20s, maybe early 30s, but he looked a lot younger than Maguire, so he was passable as like one of them American teen college freshmen. But then he was Tom Holland, and his introduction in Civil War was amazing. Hey guys, Peter. Hey Kat, big fan. It was great, and then that teed us up for Homecoming. Then you had him in Homecoming, and he stole the film in sort of a John Hughes type of coming of age family film, and I really enjoyed it. You also didn't have Mary Jane, you didn't have Gwen Stacy, you didn't have Harry Osborn, you didn't have Electro or any of the Oscorps, the Goblins. It was fresh, and you gave us the Vulture. So Spider-Man for me, based on all that criteria, has to be in my top 2. However, when I came up with my list, he didn't spring to mind straight away, to be honest, as my top 2nd favourite character, because for me, all my attention is on my favourite character until after Avengers 4, because we don't know whether he will be staying, going, leaving, dying or surviving. And that is, I am Steve Rogers. Captain fucking America. You are my Don, mate. My guy. My best, favourite and idealistic Marvel character in either cartoons, comics or film. Comics, I understand he was the Boy Scout, which is kind of why a lot of people don't like Superman as well. But the way they rewrote him in the MCU, and his trilogy for me is the best. Actually, I was going to say it's the best film trilogy in the MCU. However, they've had Avengers 3 now, haven't they? It's the best single film trilogy in the MCU. Shits on Iron Man's 3, because apart from Iron Man 1, the rest are poor. It beats Thor because Dark World lets it down. And for me, I think it's a really interesting debate as to which trilogy is better, the Dark Knight or the Captain America. Now, nothing beats the Dark Knight film, not Rises, but with the Joker. However, the other two are good, but not up to the quality of maybe Cap 1, 2 and 3. And Cap 3 is Civil War, so you get a bunch of people in it, so that might be a bit tainted in the decision, but it's a very interesting debate, one that I've had with a few of my partners in Geek. But for me, I have to be slightly biased for Cap, don't I? He is my man, he is my boy, and as you say, you see him in all the films, everyone's like, oh, Iron Man's the main guy, Iron Man's Marvel's MCU face of the company. And he is, or was, until, not Civil War, Winter Soldier happened. Everyone realised, yo, Cap's a badass, you know. Yeah, don't fuck with him. This guy is a don. And then from there on, this came after the time Robert Downey Jr. was trying to get a pay rise and holding Marvel to ransom. So MCU pretty much started propositioning Captain as the face of their company, as you can tell with the re-credits, and Cap Shield's the last thing to be thrown rather than the Iron Man. I'm going a bit deep here, but it is true if you listen to the interwebs and all the conspiracy theories that went on. So with Avengers 4 coming up, it's him, Cap or Iron Man that's going to be leaving, most likely with a death or a sacrifice. Now if anyone wants to do a sacrifice to lie in a grenade, see what I did there, it would be Cap. However, I'd be really gutted if Cap left the franchise because he's my favourite character, and Chris Evans is such an amazing human. Follow him on Twitter as well, man. The guy's got moral compass exactly like Cap. He's a real life Captain America. However, for the story, it would probably make more sense and have more impact if Cap was the one to sacrifice himself, because that's who he is. He's the captain, he's the leader. It's all about the team. If we do stuff, we do it together. If we win, we do it together. If we lose, we do it as a team. And also, it'd be emotional as well, because I'm theorising he may sacrifice himself to bring back Bucky. Like each Avenger may have to sacrifice one of themselves to bring back so many others. So if that happened, and he brought Bucky back, the feels, yeah, wow. I'll tell you now, when Cap dies, if he dies or leaves in Avengers 4, man will be moist in the eyes, without a doubt. Now, I'm hoping he doesn't, but it feeds the story if he does, so we will see next year in April. But for the things I've already mentioned and the reasons and his performances on screen, Captain America, my #1 favourite, most likeable Marvel character. Let me know your thoughts on your team or on my pick. I'm sure DIGA and JD's list will be up soon as well. Let us know who won, or whose top 10 was more similar to your top 10, because winning when it comes to opinions is very varied. So no one's definitely going to have the outright best pick. Depends on your opinion, your own preference and affiliation to those characters. So let us know. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit us up on Twitter or Facebook. All the links in the comments down below. Hit up all the videos on that Double D team. Also check out our boy JD on his YouTube channel as well. Until next time, deuce.